Fritz und fertig. Schach lernen und trainieren. Wie spannend Schach sein kann, erlebst du in einem fantastischen Adventure rund um Prinz Fritz und seine Cousine Bianca. Eines schönen Tages im Schachland düsen König Weiß und seine Frau für ein paar Tage in den Urlaub. Solange vertreten sie Fritz und Bianca auf dem Thron. Prompt wird Fritz von König Schwarz zum großen Schachduell rausgefordert. Zu dumm, dass Fritz vom Schachspielen noch keine Ahnung hat. Zum Glück treffen Fritz und Bianca auf den freundlichen König Bunt.
Wir sind jetzt auch weg. Wir haben nämlich eine super gereimte Einladung zu unserem persönlichen Duell gegen König Schwarz bekommen, in irgendeiner Arena.
Ach du liebe Güte!
Ist das was Schlimmes?
Oder am Ende sogar gefährlich?
Nicht wirklich. Aber es ist natürlich eine Frage der Ehre. Und mit diesem König Schwarz ist nicht zu spaßen.
Auf dem Weg zur Muckibude für Hirngymnastik, einem Schachtrainingslager, lernen Fritz und Bianca spielerisch die Grundzüge der einzelnen Figuren kennen. Beim Sumo-Ringen erfahren sie zum Beispiel, dass sich die zwei Könige nie zu nahe kommen dürfen. Beim Münzensammeln für Zitterling Mac Sparpfennig üben sie die Züge eines Turmes. Und das Kloschüssel zerdeppern macht die Züge eines Läufers anschaulich. Aber um gegen König Schwarz wirklich fit zu sein, muss Fritz noch mehr trainieren.
So, da wären wir. Das ist die Muckibude für Hirngymnastik.
Hier treffen Fritz und Bianca auf Fred Fertig, Kanalratte und Schachexperte.
Und ich bin Bianca, das zarte Cousinchen vom Ersatzkönig. Was ist nun? Zeigst du uns, wie's geht?
Wenn es gegen König Schwarz geht, zeige ich es euch. Und dann macht ihr ihn fertig. Fritz und fertig gewissermaßen. Seit ich ihn besiegt habe, ist der Kerl übrigens ziemlich schlecht auf Kleinlager wie mich zu sprechen. Der ist nämlich tierisch ehrgeizig.
Für jede erfolgreich absolvierte Trainingsstation bekommt Fritz einen Pokal.
Hier eine schmucke Tasse für den Trophäenschrank.
Links und rechts die Türme. Das Pferd steht gleich dabei. Läufer dann das Königspaar und Bauern in der Reihe.
Haben Fritz und Bianca genug Hirnschmalz antrainiert, geht es ab in die nächste Runde, zum Beispiel beim Treppenmatt.
Die beiden Türme können wie in einem Treppenhaus nach oben gehen. Und dabei den gegnerischen König immer weiter an den Rand drücken.
Praktisch.
Bis er schachmatt ist. Ein Turm ist immer der Wächter und einer der Jäger.
In anschaulichen Erklärungen wird Schachwissen einfach und spielerisch vermittelt. Im Training kann das Gelernte gleich angewendet werden.
Man muss es so sagen. Hier wächst ernsthafte Konkurrenz für König Schwarz heran.
So lernen die angehenden Schachexperten von Patt bis Matt, von Rochade bis En passant, alle Zugregeln und viel Taktik rund ums Schach.
Leichtgewicht, Mittelgewicht, Schwergewicht. Ihr habt's tatsächlich geschafft.
Wie? Sind wir fertig?
Ja, jetzt könnt ihr gegen König Schwarz antreten. Das wird ein Spaß.
Ab auf die Bank.
Der muss auf die Ersatzbank.
Ab in die Schachtel.
Du hast keine Chance gegen mich.
Wer zuletzt lacht, lacht am besten.
Alle Übungen und Schachpartien sind umschaltbar auf Originalschachfiguren. Ob Fritz mit Hilfe von Fred Fertig ein richtiger Schachkönig wird? Fritz und Fertig ist ein Schachlernprogramm für Kinder. Seit 20 Jahren die Nummer 1 im Bereich Kinderlernsoftware und mittlerweile in 12 Sprachen verfügbar. Entwickelt von Chessbase, dem weltweit führenden Schachsoftwareunternehmen.
entering atmosphere. Get ready for landing. Destination, Outpost Gamma. ETA 5 minutes.
Vitals are normal.
Let's burn some bastards.
Try not to burn your own ass, Joe.
Module 4 landing.
Go, 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 go!
Incoming!
Man down! I say man down!
Now, stop me if you've heard this one before.
You always say that, Papa.
Ha! And yet you never stop me. But this time, my plans had gone, well, all to pieces.
Tell the story! Tell it!
But of course. Once or twice upon the tide, I became a fisherman, following my father's plan and fishing for my father's pride. There's only one way to go. Up. But it would be hard going with only one hook. 2 hooks? Now I was twice the pirate. I mean, sailor.
Climb, Papa! You can do it!
No one ever gets to Libertalia.
You bloodthirsty buccaneer! I cast and reeled without a break, pulling bounty from the sea. Father said this life was free, as I followed in his wake.
Nina, darling, are you there?
Hi, Mum. How are you feeling?
You must be nearly finished packing up your father's stuff.
No. I've made a good start, though.
Haha! All done tight! Once or twice upon a time, I was a young fisherman, weighing anchor with no plan, whether be ugly or fine.
Guapo, you listen. Rule 16. A guerrillero's revolution never ends. Always another war, another cantina, another ugly bartender.
Juan Cortez?
What do you think gave it away, Guapo?
This is a fucking waste of time.
Can you whistle?
What?
Nah, you can't whistle. Not bad, Danny, but we're just getting started. Rule number 1. A good guerrilla is a hidden guerrilla.
Muerto el perro, se acabó la rabia.
We lead our operations in secret camps across the country. Here, guerrillas live,
Kaboom!
train, and plan.
Small pack. We go in, grab our people, kill whoever gets in our way.
By smuggling in supplies, you'll add some piss and fire to our movement.
You got that right.
Camp chef, black market dealers, these safe havens got everything a guerrilla needs. Even do-it-yourself vehicles. You're gonna love it, Danny. Rule number 2. A good guerrilla masters their environment. This land is your home, Danny. I'm sure you know every inch of it. From the bloodthirsty jungles and postcard shorelines, to dead-end towns, and our friendly capital city. How you get around is up to you.
Good girl.
If you want to play it safe, take our secret paths carved in the dirt of old revolutions.
Hola, Danny. How you doing?
Or take a risk and operate in plain sight of Castillo's assholes. Go ahead and hide your weapons to blend in. Bribes,
What do you got?
sabotage, interceptions. You don't always need to be a loudmouth, Danny.
Christmas trees? Do you even grow those here?
Mexicans pay crazy money for this. How you think El Presidente funded Maria's new face?
Okay. Go through.
Rule number 3. Fucked up situations call for fucked up solutions.
Hey, he's not here.
If you expected reinforcements, I got news for you. You're an army of one against an army of thousands. And when shit gets real, we make use of whatever we have. We call that resolver. That means absolutely everything from sardine cans damn batteries to old motorcycle engines have been built into equipment. And some very unique, deadly weapons. Now we're fucking talking. This, the Supremo backpacks. Handcrafted by yours truly. Each one will make you feel and fight with the power of a goddamn guerrilla army.
Give me lip, I'ma sneak into the yard. Get a stick, make a switch. End the conversation real quick. I am cracked, I ain't lying.
You and I both know. You want this. For a guerrilla that shit my pants rush of an ambush. The taste of sweet victory after you freed your people from tyrants.
It's fun.
Oh, and the final rule. A good guerrilla always brings a friend along for moral support.
So this is the official teaser trailer for Borefest, the game that's currently playing. Yeah, you should. I guess you gotta play it. I'm kind of telling you to play it, or asking at least. It's cheap, It's like $1.99, $2.99, I think. If you wishlist, it'll probably go down during sales and stuff. It's kind of funny, I guess. So I get the whole point of the game is like it's like boring stuff in life, I guess. Going to the post office, working a dead end job, stuff like that, waiting in A&E. Like those are all mini games in the game. I don't know. They're called mini games, but they're like they run out. Like each mini game, it's like they run 20, 30 minutes long. I don't know. If you like joke games, it's fun, I guess, for like 5 minutes. Like, what's that? What's that one game? It's called like, Dude, Don't Touch Anything, or something like that. It's like that. Oh, and another one. It's like This Is Not a Game, or something like that. It's like that. If you like those, Stanley Parable, that's another one. If you like those kind of games that are like ironic and satire, I guess you can get a kick out of it. Like I said, it's cheap. You can refund it as well. So if you play the game, I think it's like under 2 hours. If you play it under 2 hours, refund it, get your money back. Yeah, like I said, it's kind of funny. Like there's dialogue in it that's pretty funny. Some of like the background jokes, I guess. I don't know. Maybe you're seeing that. I don't know. I'm currently not looking at footage or anything. I'm just sort of talking into my phone at the moment. But maybe there's some background jokes. I don't know what footage is on screen for the trailer. Everything in the trailer is in-game. None of it's like fake, I guess, like cinematics. Because that annoys me, honestly. If I can go on a slight tangent real quick, I really don't. I don't like how so many trailers nowadays are just cinematics. Have you noticed that? Like, the trailer for that new the Crash game came out. Well, it's not Crash Bash, but it's a Crash game came out. Or the trailer came out, and it's all cinematics. And I was like, why is a Crash game all cinematic? It's just like, why isn't it showing gameplay? And I feel like so many games are like that nowadays. I'm at the point now where even if there's a game I'm super excited for, if I see a trailer drop and I'm like, oh my god, here we go, trailer. If it starts and it's cinematics, I'll skip ahead a few minutes, and if it's still like CGI, I immediately turn it off, and I'm like, okay, I don't care, because it just feels like you could advertise a game to be the most amazing, like cinematic looks absolutely incredible, blow your mind, and then you play the game and it's like top-down MMO with like 1,000 icons on screen, like old school World of Warcraft. You know, it's like the Suicide Squad game, like the Kill the Justice League one. Trailer came out for that like a year ago, and it looks cool. And then recently it's like delayed, and people are like iffy about the gameplay. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I guess the reason you do cinematics and trailers nowadays is to sort of hide things and false advertise, whatever. But I don't know. It feels like Dead Island 2 recently came out at the time of recording this, and God, I remember when the first trailer for that came out. It was like a year, it was like more than a year. It was ages ago, and it was all cinematic. It was a guy jogging, listening to the music. Jack Black was in it. I don't even know if he's in the current game. And yeah, it's like that game is completely different now, and it's like, I don't know. I'm not into it either way. Slight tangent over. I really don't like the cinematic trailers like that. This Borefest, at least, there's no cinematics unless you count like the credits. I guess the credits is kind of like a cinematic, but whatever. Speaking of credits, by the way, another little slight tangent. Won't go on too long. Have you know? I've recently been thinking of like cardinal sins in games. You know, like what things appear in games that I think like should never appear in games anymore. Like, we're in the 21st century. There should be things in games that just should not show up anymore. Like, we're past that. And I thought, in terms of credits, I could not stand when you can't skip credits. Like, that is so annoying. Like, you ever just be in like a game menu and you scroll down, you see credits, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna click that, and you click it, and it starts credits, and you're like, okay, whatever. And no matter how much you hit, you can't skip. You're like locked into it, like you're trapped. I hate that. I was there was another game I played recently, which I really liked. Oh yeah, it was The Quarry. Quarry's good. It's like a fun thing. Your choices don't really matter, but first time through is always fun because you think they do. But yeah, the credits for that, you absolutely could not skip them. And for the credits in that game, I understand, because it's like you hear like lore stuff, but you only hear the full thing. It's like you need to collect everything in the game and you'll get a full podcast thing at the end. And it's like, I didn't collect everything, so I was only getting half of it, so I felt like, oh, I don't want to hear all this because I'll go back through, collect everything, then I can hear the full version. And I couldn't skip the credits, and it was so annoying. It's like, just make it so you can skip credits. Another thing annoys me, another cardinal sin in gaming I thought recently, cutscenes you can't pause. Don't you just hate that? I absolutely cannot stand when cutscenes play in games and you can't pause them. And it's even worse when you're in the middle of a cutscene and you hit the start button or like X, thinking it's going to pause, and it skips it. There's not even like, are you sure you want to quit? It just skips it. I hate that so much. That's another cardinal sin that's like, we need to remove that from games altogether. You know, I was talking to my friend about that, like cardinal sins. We were going through trying to figure out other sins. And my friend actually said QuickTime events. He said he doesn't like QuickTime events in game. And I think I've heard a lot about QuickTime events being bad. Like, so many people say they're bad. I honestly have never minded them, honestly. Like, I've always quite enjoyed. I mean, I remember that old Ben 10 PS2 game? The Protector of Earth, that's it. That was like, I remember playing that as a kid. And it was the first time I ever saw QuickTime events. I was like, no, I didn't even know they were called QuickTime events. I just thought, oh, button prompts are cool. And I don't know. I always thought they were cool back then because it always felt like, I guess I like QuickTime events when there's different outcomes, when it's not just like Minecraft story mode, when it's like you don't need to press a single button and you succeed. It's cool. I guess, funnily enough, going back to the quarry, it is cool having that sense of danger of like, oh, if you don't press something at the right time, you incorrectly press it, you press left or right, it leads to a character's death. So I think I guess everything in games can be done well, even like bad stuff. Like if people hate QuickTime events, I think there's some cases where QuickTime events can work. I think I like the Resident Evil 4 remake came out recently, and like I've heard, I haven't played it yet. I haven't had time. I heard they removed QuickTime events from it, like from the what's this? It's not Wesker, Krauser. I can't remember his name. I've only played Resi 4 once, but I think they removed the QuickTime events from that, and I'm not sure if I like that. I think it's funny that you like have to press it, and if you you don't do it right, it just resets you and it like kills you, whatever. But yeah, speaking of, I guess like a little side tangent. This won't be too long. I don't know what to think about all the remakes that are coming out lately. I feel like we are in the age of non-stop remakes. Like, reboots and remakes are everywhere now. From movies to games to, like, they're everywhere. We're getting so many remakes and reimaginings. I'm sick of it. I'm really sick of it, especially stuff that only came out recently. Like, don't get me wrong, I love The Last of Us, but we did not need a $60 or just like 69, 70 quid remake only 9 years after the game came out. And the only difference is the graphics. Like, that's it. Like, maybe some gameplay mechanics have changed, but that isn't worth an additional £60, especially when you remove content. Like, there's not even an online mode in it. It's like, you can either get the original for free on PlayStation Plus, and it's all there, it's the exact same game, it still holds up in my opinion, graphics are still good, or you pay £60 for a game with less features and just updated graphics. It just, oh God, I'm sick of these remakes, man. It's like everywhere you look, everything is, oh, it's the new thing, it's the new thing, it's the new thing. Like Disney as well. Disney are doing that everywhere. Like, I honestly feel like we're going to get to the point where every Disney film has been remade. With like 10, 15 years, like every Disney film will have been made twice. Obviously not all of them. Like, I doubt they'll remake Song of the South. But Lilo and Stitch, I think that's the next one they're doing. They're definitely going to do Cinderella, Snow White, Little Mermaid's coming out. They did Pinocchio recently. Oh, I feel like they're going to do Nightmare Before Christmas at some point. I watched that recently, and I love Nightmare Before Christmas. But I can just tell, I'm watching it, and I'm like, man, I can't wait for them to ruin this. I was just watching it like, yeah, I can't wait for them to do a live-action version that removes all the magic. Actually, I thought of something else like that recently. I was like, I can't remember what. It was like a game or a movie, and I remember watching it thinking, man, I can't wait for them to suck the fun out of this. Oh, it was Back to the Future. I was watching Back to the Future recently, and I was just watching it, and I was like, they're going to ruin this. Because 100% Back to the Future is going to get remade at some point. Like, Back to the Future is such a cash cow. They're definitely going to remake it at some point. I was just like, man, they're going to ruin it. Somehow they're going to ruin it. Like, the aesthetic. I feel like we're in an age where things are getting over-explained. Like, nothing can be mysterious anymore. Nothing's just, like, as it is. Because in Back to the Future, you don't really need to know why Marty and Doc are friends. You don't need to know why they're acquaintances. It's just the magic of the film. It's just the magic of, like, oh, this cool radical kid has this scientist friend. They just know each other. And you know they're going to over-explain that in the new one. They're going to explain... they're going to do a thing where it's like... Doc went back in time and met Marty as a kid. They're going to do something like that. Like, they're going to ruin that magic. I'm so sick of it. I feel like every remake does that now. They, like... Again, it's another thing I don't like about remakes. They just over-explain stuff. They don't leave any mysticism. They're all like, oh, did you wonder? Oh yeah, it was like oh, you ever wondered why Han Solo is called Han Solo? It's like, no, we never wondered that. We never needed to know. I feel like so many of these remakes are explaining stuff, and it's either over-explaining stuff and doing it in a way that is supposed to be cool, like, oh, it's this thing you recognize, or it's supposed to be snarky. It's like the Marvel thing, when Marvel characters will be like, oh, is your name actually Doc Ock? It's like, I'm sick of it. Nothing can be genuine anymore. Nothing's just like mystical, mysterious, or just taken seriously. Everything is constantly either made fun of in a snarky, sarcastic fashion, or it's over-explained and all the fun's taken out of it. Funnily enough, going back to Dead Island, I don't know if it's the same guys who did the new Saints Row. I can't remember, but that Saints Row is also what I'm talking about. Like, it's another remake. And side note, little quick tangent, not going to go on for too long. But man, I'm so sick of remakes as well that just use the same title. There's two kind of remakes, titles. It's either simplified one-word titles, which I'm sick of, like the Wonka that's coming out. I think 10 years ago, I remember telling my friend, oh, they're going to remake it, they're just going to call it Wonka, and they have. Sorry. So yeah, they're going to call it Wonka, so sick of one-word titles like that. And just calling it the same thing as before. I'm so sick of that. I'm so sick of, oh, this is Doom, and this is Doom 2016. This is Saints Row, and this is Saints Row 2021 or whatever. So it's like, I understand, especially in a long franchise, you don't want to call it like, like Rocky 6 rather. They won't. Rocky 6 is like really 6. So it makes sense that they called it Rocky Balboa. And yeah, could I say that was before the advent of the single titles? Rocky Balboa, I like. It's not like they called it Balboa or Rocky again. Like, that would have been annoying. Speaking of, side little tangent, just not going to take too long. I watched all the Rocky films recently for the first time, and I really, really enjoyed them. Like, I do like, I like sports stuff. I don't really watch sports, but I like sports media. Like, my favorite anime is Hajime no Ippo. It's like a boxing anime, and it's amazing. Just like the way it's animated and stuff, just in terms of the fight. It's like the fights in Hajime no Ippo, they perfectly border being over the top anime, but also realistic and like grounded, and it's great. It never goes too far. I feel like when characters hit each other, they hit each other with such power, and the sound effects are like a jet engine, and they hit someone and they blow all the way back, and their sweat flies off and the wind goes flying, but it's not that over the top. I think the only time it ever gets to a point where it's a little over the top is with, I think his name's Mashiba, I can't remember his name. It's Mashiba, and he's got like a whip fist, he's like whipping his hand out. That's a little, but even then, I think that fits, because it's, his whole thing is that he's got a long reach on Ippo, so he can reach out and hit him. But oh my god, that fight is so good. I love that fight, like Mashiba. I won't spoil it, but yeah, check out Hajime no Ippo, the fighting. I think it's on Crunchyroll now. It's on Netflix. They recently added it to Netflix. Check out Hajime no Ippo. It's one of the best anime. It's like one of my favorites. Actually, speaking of, little side tangent, won't go on for too long. I've recently gotten back into anime. I kind of fell out of anime for a while, but I got back into it recently because of what's it called? It's the new Makoto Shinkai film, Suzume. That's it. Which one of my friends was calling Suzume, but yeah, Suzume. Yeah, I got into it. It was really good. It's not as good as Your Name. I really, really liked Your Name. I've got like a special collector's edition. But yeah, Your Name is sick, and I'm just getting back into anime, and it's like, it's weird. I haven't seen it since I was in college, and back when I was in college, I was watching anime that was old. Not like, I don't know, 70s or whatever, but like, I was super into the 90s stuff, and like 90s, early 2000s. I love that style. There's something about it. I love the blur, the CRTV, like 4:9. I love that look. There's something so rich about it. Like, I was just back to back watching shows that had that kind of aspect ratio. Like, I was going Hajime no Ippo, and then I went through like old school Pokemon, then I went through Yu Yu Hakusho. Like, I love those 90s ones, and now that I'm watching like more modern day ones, it's really weird to see how anime's changed. Like, little side tangent real quick, I won't be too long on this. There are some tropes that I feel like used to be around that are not around anymore, that we need to bring back. like, for anime specifically, absolutely missed when the OP would play during a fight. That was the... Oh, I loved when that would happen. It happens in EPO. It definitely happens more than once. But in the final, like the finale, I won't spoil anything, but in the finale, they have the OP and ED come in. Both of them come in during that last fight, and they come in the most perfect scenarios. If you're gonna take anything away from this trailer for Borefest, watch Hajime no Ippo. It's so good. It's amazing. It's just go check it out. It's really good. Actually, little side tangent real quick. I won't be on this for too long. Hajime no Ippo, even though I love it, there is a trope that I don't like, that I'm so sick of seeing, that we need to get rid of. And it's the whole will they, won't they shonen thing. And it's not even just exclusively shonen, but man, am I sick of protagonists and their love interests being like doughy and they never get together. And I understand because it's like a long running series and you want that will they, won't they, and usually things end when they will. But man, I'm so sick of it. Like My Hero Academia with Deku and the Gravity Girl. Like, just will they? What? Just do it. Just put them together. Like Kim Possible put Kim and Ron together, albeit I believe they did that because they thought when they did that it was the season finale, and then they got renewed. They had to continue it, but they still did it, and it's still like a new era of the show, and it's like, oh, I'm sick of that trope. I'm sick of the whole. Just I want a show that just bravely is like, yeah, they get together like early on. I'm sorry, it's like love triangles as well. I can't stand love triangles. So in Ippo, the main character Ippo, he has a love interest with Kumi, I believe her name is. Kumi's great. But yeah, it's constant will they, won't they. And they even had like a movie after the show came out and then a sequel series. And it was constant will they, won't they, will they. Oh, they're in a romantic area, but Ippo doesn't have the courage to say it. Or the worst version of it, which annoyed me so much when I watched it. I love Ippo, but it annoyed me. And it's in the sequel series. It's not in the original. The original's perfect. There's the thing where character professes their feelings looking away or with their eyes closed, and they say it and they go, oh my god, I love you, and then when they open their eyes, the person is like, what did you say? They're like focused on something else, and then they go, nothing. I hate it. It's like dangling the carrot and then pulling it away. I hate it. I really hate stuff like that. It's really annoying. Ugh. But still recommend Hajime no Ippo. It's still amazing. Like, that first series is so good. Yeah. Anyway, play Borefest if you want. If you don't want to, that's cool. It's like I said, it's cheap. Whatever, go play it if you want. I don't know.
しく光る横断永遠に続く世界でその手をつなぎ止めたくて走り出す未来を越えてここにいるから